And welcome back. It is raining and day 6. So we have done a little bit of excavating over here. Cleaned up a lot of that coal that was sitting over here. A lot of iron ore that was sitting over here. Probably won't do the same as much over there. I think we're going to put our first house over here as well, which is also the other reason that I cleared it off. But we also went ahead and we planted this wheat field off screen as well. Not huge by any means, stretch of the imagination, but big enough for our needs at the moment until we can get some redstone and go a bit more automatic. Not fully automatic, not yet. We don't have the villagers required for that, but something that's somewhat automatic. It gives us a little bit of food as well in the form of bread. Not the best source of food, but a pretty good one early game until we can move on to the next one, or the next source of food that we can get from it. So, go ahead and drop our wheat seeds on in there. Some of our wheat on in there as well. You don't need a whole lot for what we're going to do next, but with that being said, we can move on to our next one. So, to go ahead and too far over. Much better. So, works. We have uploaded a couple of mods. Hooray! It merged. There we go. Head on back over here. Drop this one in here along with that and that. And that. We don't really need it quite yet. Grab up some of these and a little bit of our iron. Collect that as well. And first thing we're going to go ahead and make is a chest. I'm going to actually make 3 of them. One of them we are going to turn around and make into a hopper, hence the iron required. Go ahead and put that back in our chest. Next we are going to need a single fence, but fences only come in bundles of 3. So we're going to make 3. Collect some cobblestone to cover that back up, and then fill up our bucket of water. So we have an infinite water source right here, which is sort of why I sort of did the pool look, and that will be sitting here. So from here we are going to do a simple entity crimper. So chest here, chest there. one stairs. This can be a stair or a slab. I tend to do stairs. I actually usually do that the other way. Works. It's not going to let me, is it? Sometimes it will. Doesn't seem to want to let me at the moment, but if you shift, if you crouch, which I have set to shift, I can't remember what the standard key is, you can put the hopper in there and it will funnel into this chest. Put our chest back down there and then cover this back up. You want this at least 2 high, and go ahead and drop a bucket of water on in there. And then the fence will go right here, but first we've got to find at least 2 cows and lead them on into it. I know I saw several down here. This works with pigs as well, but for pigs you need carrots. It works for sheep. Again, we will probably go for pigs just because they're a bit easier. I guess I shouldn't say easier so much as the saturation effects that you get from eating a piece of steak, I believe, is a bit higher than a pork chop or a lamb chop. So gives us a little bit more time to explore as well. We've got our map back. I have not yet marked our base yet, so we won't wander too far. But just give us a chance to explore a little bit. I'm not seeing any cows suddenly. There they are. Now you do have to be careful because this will attract sheep as well. Now you need at least 2 cows, a breeding set. You can have more if you want, but you want a minimum of 2. Of course, because you've got to breed them up to 24 before it can actually be usable. You will probably want more than 2. And we attracted a couple of sheep. Once you get a pack following you, it can be sometimes a little bit more difficult to keep everybody in line. The goal here is the cows, so going back and making sure we actually get them. This is the trickiest part of the NCD Crimmer, which is why I'm spending a little bit more time on it. There we go. Okay, and then how this works is you feed them up, and of course that introduces one more with every time you breed them up. Eventually you get 24 in here, you breed them up again, and you get over that number at that point in time. Due to mob mechanics, one of them is automatically killed off to keep mob counts down, and you get the drops from that, which will be deposited into this down here, which you can then take and use in other things. Now, you can, in those original game rules settings, you can change that to a higher number. Sometimes I set it at 48. Usually I just leave it alone at 24. That is completely up to you. Go ahead and drop this back on in here. Fill our bucket back up. Go ahead and grab some bread. Getting a bit low on our food bar, our hunger bar. And it looks like we once again need to harvest our fields. Early game, it's a good source of food. Later game, I tend to start, once I've got a villager trading hall, and you've got a decent farmer villager, then usually you can get some better options. If you've got the whole process set up, sometimes that can even be better. And you can trade for some golden carrots or something of that nature. If you've got the correct farm set up, you may even just switch over to golden apples completely. Now, said mechanic does, in theory, work on chickens, but breeding two chickens doesn't automatically always get you just a baby chicken. Sometimes it just gets you an egg. And eggs only get you a 1 in 16 chance of a baby chicken. So, now when it comes down and we've harvested that a couple of times, you can get 2 to 3 wheat seeds from every fully mature wheat plants, which means that after a while you get an overabundance of wheat seeds. Right now we're going to be planting a big wheat field eventually. That is going to be the semi-automatic auto harvest. And so we are going to collect some of these wheat seeds. Later on, once that has been all the way harvested, we're going to see an overabundance of wheat seeds, and then we will probably use a composting block and transform some of these um, into bone meal using that. With that being said, we've got some in our offhand we need to get rid of real quick. Go ahead and mix up some bread. Should be a while before I need something else. Not the best when it comes to saturation levels, but it does give me a decent amount on the health bar. From there, we need to restore some of our tools that we have used up. I've only got the stone hoe left. So, now we do have 47 iron, which means I could make some things out of iron. I don't like switching over to iron solidly until we've either got an overabundance, whereas, and by overabundance I mean I've got 3 or 4 stacks of iron. This early in the game, I might have 1 or 2 iron picks, but otherwise I'm still going to be using, for the most part, stone tools. Or I've already got an iron farm. So, which I don't think I've actually done an iron farm on screen quite yet. So, 1 iron pickaxe. We won't be focusing on that because we will be using a stone pick as well, but there are some things that can only be picked up with an iron pick or above. Stone shovel, I don't need an iron shovel, and a stone axe. Now a sword, I will go for iron. And that fills up about half of my hotbar. Go ahead and sleep again. Now we still have 42 iron left in here, so we are going to go ahead and craft our first set of armor. Need our helmet. And that should set us up nicely for our next episode as well. So, thank you for watching this episode of Minecraft Survival 1.19, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching and have a great and wonderful Minecraft day. This is Amethyst64 signing off.